Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It's 23rd of June. Things are going really crazy when it comes to the COVID cases, especially in our state and more so specifically in our city, Bangalore. But don't know where it started, how it started. This whole thing of like instead of flattening the curve, it's getting increased exponentially. This all started probably around, say, mid of May, or rather second half of May, when things started to ease down a little bit. I mentioned it in one of my first motor vlogs that I did after the 3 months of lockdown, that things might not be safe to remove the lockdown now, even though it was all this unlock one and all. But I think if the government doesn't take necessary actions and proper actions in the next 1 week, when the unlock one leads to unlock two, things will go really out of control. So many things we are hearing, like literally in Bangalore itself, the cases are increasing in triple digit every day. Every day it's triple digit, where like it used to be like hardly the entire Bangalore, the affected crowd was less than probably 100 or whatever. Now it's like on a daily basis, it's increasing in a triple digit, 150, 170, 200, and things like that. Um, Last night, we saw a series of tweets from our health minister that his family is also affected. His father was tested positive for COVID. Later on, they tested his entire family, and they realized that his wife and his daughter were also tested positive. They were moved into a hospital. He and his son are okay, but more and more number of police personnel are getting affected. I don't know, they are supposed to be our frontline warriors, and if they get affected, it's like a wrong signs or whatever. But the bad thing about it is, like today afternoon, I heard one interview wherein one head constable was tested positive. His results came today morning. The folks called him up, the hospital or BBMP, whoever it is. They called him up and told that he has been tested positive and he has to be admitted into a hospital. But he apparently had to wait for some 7 or 8 odd hours just for the ambulance to reach him. And he tried numerous ways to reach out to BBMP and hospital, but it didn't turn out positive. And if this is the type of situation, and if this is a condition wherein the frontline workers themselves are finding it tough to get into hospital when they're tested positive, what about commoners like us? So in that way, I mean, my personal feeling is that we should go for another lockdown. We seriously feel really go for a lockdown. Um, 2 weeks back, when I went out for a short ride in my bike over the weekend, I recorded one small video bit. I think that's what I will sequence it after what I'm talking now. So there I just told my thoughts, like why the lockdown should have been now rather than before, and why there should be more stricter lockdown now. So as of today, it's 23rd of June, we already have a sealed down of 5 areas. That's like in last 24 or 48 hours, 5 areas have been sealed down again, because of the number of cases have spiked up there and the number of deaths have also spiked up. So this is what is happening. So ideally the lockdown should be now. uh, there is a way to, I mean, I'm not an expert, but there are ways to contain the whole thing, like reduce the transport between the states, and reduce people going to and fro from different districts and all this stuff, and stricter measures to enforce all this social distancing and all this stuff. So probably I'll sequence my video where I've expressed my thoughts on how this should have been handled, or how this should be handled now that we're already in a pretty bad situation. Let's see if the government makes a decision, because just today afternoon we saw that our minister has also indicated that the lockdown might come back. There are a few other cities and states which have already started reinforcing lockdown, and I'm pretty serious about it. Like, I'm hoping and praying the lockdown comes back, so that at least it prevents people from transferring disease. The whole community spread thing stops. So that's what I'm hoping and praying, and at least like that should help us, like 15 days or 1 month, I don't know, let the government official take the decision. But I'm just hoping and praying something happens positive, so that this whole corona situation comes under control, rather than it going in for all this community spread. So check out this video where I've explained in detail what was my thoughts about all this, the lockdowns what we had, and this unlock 1.0. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Not much to speak. I think this video will speak for itself. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
So yeah, back to the point. So I was telling that there's one small article about the planned meeting of Prime Minister with the Chief Ministers, various Chief Ministers, and it seems many are proposing bringing back of lockdown and things around it. Things will make it really worse. I mean, on the just now people have started opening up their shops which were like affected to the max. If we do a lockdown again, I think it'll create a lot of chaos, and a lot of people have come back from their natives thinking that their workplaces are open, but again doing one more lockdown will create a lot of confusion. I'll tell you, when I say lot, it will be a lot of confusion. Now, contrary to that, I personally feel there should be a lockdown. Let it be like I know people, various people have various opinions about this whole lockdown thing and what should be open and what should not be open, but I personally feel that there should be lockdown now. Okay, and the lockdown, when I say, it has to be with relation to the interstate travel and inter-district travel kind of things. That should be stopped now, not like closing of shops and all those stuff. Let the shops be open, probably let the hotels be open. I'm not sure if how much of the things will be bad because of the hotels, but I feel that this traveling part, that should be cut down. I was telling about this in one of my other videos. Me and my wife were discussing about it. So we felt that whatever strict lockdown and all those things that we had in the beginning, like in March, April and all, ideally that time it should have been a lot more I would say relaxed. No, it might sound contrary, but this is my theory about it. Like, it should have been a little bit more relaxed at that time. At least you should have allowed people to go and come back and all those things between districts and states, because the number of cases were less at that time, and there was no case of the virus spreading and all. The number of cases are like way less when we actually started the lockdown. And we had a lockdown at time when there were like very less cases, but now there is a lot of cases and there is no lockdown. What does it mean? So the virus will spread more. So ideally the lockdown should be now, the stricter lockdown should be now. And when I say stricter lockdown, it is not about seal down of shops and all those things, but I feel that majority of the cases since the last approximately 1 month is because of the fact that there has been a lot of interstate travel, a lot, and without any doubt the spike in the cases in Karnataka is because of the people coming in from Maharashtra to Karnataka. There might be localites here or people who are gone there for a certain reason and they come back or whatever, whoever they are, but it's like literally a 3-digit number. So a lockdown now would mean that you're literally putting a barrier and making sure that the virus doesn't spread. But what was the point when we did a lockdown 2 months back? Now should be the case when we should do the lockdown, and that's exactly my theory. I don't know what they will do, but just hope that they take some decision which will at least ease down this thing. Like, the numbers it's not at all coming down, it's increasing day by day. So somehow we should put a plug wherein we can say that we are preventing people from flying or coming via road or coming via trains and all those stuff. Again, let's hope that this recovers sooner.